November 11th, and we're in the same stand that Cherie shot her buck in 2 days ago. It's definitely a better morning stand than it is night stand, so we're excited to see what comes out of the timber over here today.
As the Slaters begin their day, hoping to double down on shooter bucks, I'm in another part of the state, preparing to take up the blood trail from yesterday's hunt. It's the next morning now, and I've got 4 guys from the office that are going to help me look for this deer. We watched the footage back a number of times trying to figure out exactly where the arrow hit that buck. And the best we can come up with is that it looked like it was right behind the liver and into the paunch. And I've got the arrow here. Unfortunately, it's so dry that when the arrow hit the ground, it kicked up a bunch of dust and the arrow is just covered with dust. But it does look like there's some type of maybe stomach content or fibers or something up on the fletching. We're going to look for blood first, and then we'll work the blood as best we can. If we lose blood, then we'll start to fan out and look for the buck himself. You got them going that way, Aaron?
No, it's just where he found
This could be a really bad deal if you can't stay on blood. As we begin to spread out and search for Skinny, Indiana bow hunter Cory Jones is hunting on the edge of a doe bedding area.
Well, here we are. It's November 11th. Kind of a frosty morning. Good northwest wind. I've had a heck of a week. On Wednesday we seen 8 different bucks. Seen one of our hit list bucks we call Ray. Just couldn't get the job done. It's rocking and rolling here. Every buck I've seen's been with a doe or seeking full moon rising, so I've said all day. Real nice buck, shooter buck. Right there, Daniel. Right there. Oh. Good shot, wasn't it? Yeah. Drilled him, bud. Drilled him. Just went about 60 yards. He was right there, dude. 2 in a row.
Positioning of the ozonics unit is important to its effectiveness. With this in mind, Ozonics makes several different mounting systems that you can use to attach the unit to the tree or the ground blind in the perfect position to rain ozone down on your scent stream. Controlling the depth of your seeds is important to ensuring good germination and a solid stand of plants. The RTP Genesis has adjustable packing wheels that regulate the depth at which the seeds are placed in the ground. Though Trophy Rock also makes bagged mineral, the rocks are the most portable. You can easily carry them into the most remote parts of the farm. You want all your deer to be as healthy as possible, not just the ones close to the road. Back in Iowa, we continue our search for Skinny.
Right there he is. He's right there. Bill. He's right there. About 20 yards in front of me.
Whoa. Seeing him and getting to him are two different things. This is some thick back in here. He's been dead for a while. Well, we found him back in here. Oh, he's a big old brute of a deer. I don't know how long Skinny stayed alive after that hit. I don't think it was a real long time. He's a cool old buck. Look at that brow tine. It's got to be 8 or 9 inches long.
I mean, I've done it without them, but they're just very cheap, so it makes sense.
They would make sense right now. I would pay you a fair amount of money for a pair of gutting gloves at this moment.
I had some at the house.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think I left any that I had. No, I gave mine to some. Did I have given those to Greg, maybe? Lucky Greg. Ready?
We got the deer out to the food plot again. We saw this spot as being a definite potential hunting area clear back in the summer. And we got in here midsummer with the tractor and with the Heumann pole saw and cleaned out all the shooting lanes around that stand. It had grown up over the years. I don't know that we hunted it very much since Greg killed in 2010. We didn't have bucks in this area that we were really going after. So now with Skinny showing back up again, it was time to put some effort back into the spot. So we started picking this deer up back in early August. The guys were filming a clover field, but that put him on the radar. The hunt for Skinny really started to accelerate in probably mid to late September, when we started getting a lot of trail camera pictures of him from a number of different cameras. And if you start putting those dots on an aerial photo, you would see that they were really starting to localize in one small area. We figured he was probably, to the best of our knowledge, living in about 60 to 70 acres. Where we are right now was on the far west end of what we thought to be his range. It became the focal point, really, of my hunting for the past several weeks. Had a lot of cameras out, started picking up tons of pictures of him in a lot of different areas, but it started to really focus in on about 160 acre area. So we spent the last 3.5 weeks hunting Skinny in this area. And the tricky part, if you're going to hunt 60 acres, obviously you got to be pretty careful about it, and you got to pick your spots. You can't be too aggressive. So, whether that's, the way that you hunt these big deer, or if we just got lucky and killed him anyway, but, being conservative, being careful, and not pushing them, especially when you know more or less where they're spending most of their time, I think that really contributed to this hunt. So 2 stories in, and now we got to start looking for a third buck to create another story around for the late season. With several muddy pro cams scattered throughout what I thought to be Skinny's range, I was able to get a general feel for where he was likely spending most of his time. Then I stayed just on the fringes of that core. The muddy cameras gave me the information I needed to come up with a strategy that eventually paid off. I planted frigid forage pure trophy clover in the small plot where I shot Skinny. This is an easy seed blend to maintain. I mow it once or twice per year and fertilize it once. Despite its small size, this plot stands up to plenty of browse pressure from deer. Redneck blinds allow me to hunt more comfortably on cold days, and that means I hunt longer. That is one important key to success. You have to be out there if you hope to fill tags.
Realtree is best known for their effective camo patterns, but they also sell accessories that improve hunting. One of these is their Easy Arm Guard. When bow hunting, it is important to keep the fabric of your jacket from interfering with the string. The Easy Arm Guard keeps the string path clear for accurate shooting.
After a slow start to his morning, Cory Slater takes advantage of the calm conditions to rattle, with the hope of bringing a distant buck within bow range.
Right.
That happened so fast. We have not seen a deer all day, and it's about 10:30, and there's a buck with his ears laid back, just sprinting across this field at us. Got my bow off the hanger, and it all took about 15 seconds before I had an arrow in him, and he just crashed about 50 yards over there. This week has been incredible. We thought all the deer were in lockdown today because we haven't seen anything today, and lo and behold, I think that's the big 10 point from a couple days ago. It's 2 bucks in 3 days. Oh, I'm so thankful. Thank God that we're able to be out here, and this is just such a humbling, grateful moment. Just pouring out right here. So here is the last spot that we saw him. He was standing here. I was wishing that he went down right here on the edge, but he ended up flipping over the side, and he's laying 10 yards beneath us in this creek bottom. So this ends our Iowa archery season. Sheree tagged out on election day. I tagged out here on Veterans Day, and we didn't even get our top hit list bucks. Those 2 deer survived, so maybe we can catch up with them during late muzzleloader season. But for now, I got to wrap my tag around a mature buck. Sheree got to wrap her tag around a mature buck. And in the end of the day, that's all you can ask for. So very grateful and humbled by both these deer and the time that I got to spend with my wife in the tree stand.
Back in Indiana, Cory Jones takes up the blood trail of the massive 9-pointer.
Look at this buck. Oh wow. He's super nice. Been out in the woods a lot here in the last week, and it's on fire here. I've seen so many different bucks. What a deer. Look at that bladed 2, long 3. Look at the mass around that, in between the 2 and the 3. Just a great deer.
Both of the shots on these bucks hit bone on the way in and still managed to kill the deer quickly. This success is typical of the Easton FMJ arrows we use. Their middle-of-the-road weight soaks up lots of energy from the bow, and their small diameter zips through even the toughest tissue and bone. Small diameter heads like those in the rocket line promote maximum penetration. The shoulder isn't far from where you're aiming, and if you hit it, the most important quality you can have is penetration. Cory Slater's shoulder hit this buck, but he recovered it very quickly because his broadhead performed perfectly. I've been using the Muddy Outfitter stand for the majority of my hunting because it is big and rock solid. The seat and platform angles are adjustable, so it works well on just about any tree I come across, and it locks super solid in place.
Something that's really important to my style of hunting is a good bino harness. I use the Cabela's bino harness. It keeps my binos low enough that they're out of the way when I need to make a shot, but they're also accessible for when I need to pull them up in glass.
Your string is the most important accessory on your bow and the most overlooked. You need a great string. I have watched Fuse custom strings being made and it is impressive. Each string and harness is preloaded under high tension so there is no stretch or twist later when you put them on your bow. Fuse strings come standard on Hoyt bows, but you can purchase them custom made to fit any bow on the market. Zach Fehrenbaugh and Aaron Warburton head to the public land. As they sneak into a new area, they come face to face with a mature buck.
Well, Aaron and I were just trying to pick a tree. We'd busted a doe and 2 bucks, and we didn't know what the bucks were. We thought one of them was pretty good, and he just circled back looking for that doe. He got downwind of us and kind of trotted off, but he's looking for that doe. We're gonna hop up in this tree right here. I just put the decoy down on the corner of this little road here, so we're gonna hop up in this tree and hopefully he comes back around. He didn't seem too spooked. And I are back here at the marsh unit today. We got right about to where we decided to put the stand up, and we jumped a pretty nice buck, another young buck and a doe, and we're pretty sure that that doe was in heat. Got a good chance to see something cruising through here this afternoon. If anything parallels the river, it's going to come right past us. Got this road's about 20 yards from us, so hopefully something presents a shot down that road. Well, we're just wrapping up here. It's about the end of legal shooting time, and probably 20 minutes ago, we heard a deer blow in front of us, and I got the glasses on him, and it was that buck that we saw earlier. He'd come back for the second time trying to find that doe. He was just pretty nervous about the whole situation, so tomorrow we have a little bit different wind, so we'll probably come back to the same general area, but just a little bit different spot.
November 11th was another rut hunting day we won't soon forget. Cory Slater and Corey Jones both tagged great bucks. Zach and Aaron were in the middle of the action on public land, and Jared Mills had another encounter with the long beam 10-pointer he calls Ali.
That's Ali.
Tagged out until December, I can only sit by and listen to their stories now. I used to think it was all about filling tags and filling the freezer, putting bucks on the wall. But each year it becomes less about this type of success and more about the many adventures along the way. It is hard to sit on the sidelines when the bucks are still chasing. The thrill of the hunt is the reward, and the journey is more important than the destination when you are chasing November.